All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Chicago Bulls video. Now, this report actually came out a couple of days ago, so I do apologize. I am a little late, but I do make Bulls content. I make NBA content. I just make a bunch of basketball content. If you want to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, a like really helps the algorithm as well. But the Chicago Bulls are expected to spend big money in free agency, according to a report. Now, here's the thing. I have made a ton of videos in the last couple of days about superstars making their way to the Chicago Bulls, right? I've made videos about Russell Westbrook getting traded there, Jerami Grant getting traded there. And every video I make, I'm like, you know, as cool as a superstar splash trade would be for the Bulls, it's not what they should do, right? Their first focus is getting a point guard, and their first focus should be getting him through a free agency because there are so many options that it's going to saturate the market, and you should be able to get a couple of guys for a reasonable price. Now, the Bulls made a big splash at the trade deadline, right? It did not work out too well. However, I fully blame it on Zach LaVine missing 11 games. Now, the tough part about that statement is even if he did play those 11 games, I'm not quite sure that they would have been higher than like a 9 or a 10 seed. And, it's like they would have made the playing game, I would have hoped. But if they had Nikola Vucevic there for the whole season, they would have been in the playoffs. Now, the offseason, it's time to get back to the postseason. You've got to make the right moves this offseason so we can get ourselves back into the postseason. Now, the Bulls have $24 million in non-guaranteed salary between Thaddeus Young and Tomas Satoransky. They have a $3 million team option on Ryan Arcidiacono, and much of the roster are restricted free agents. So they're kind of playing around with a couple of names being tied to the Chicago Bulls. Kyle Lowry, Dennis Schroeder, Lonzo Ball, and Spencer Dinwiddie. Those are like the rumored guys. Chicago needs and wants a playmaking point guard next to Zach LaVine. So they actually had talked with Lonzo Ball at the trade deadline. However, they just weren't able to reach a deal. I think Kyle Lowry is probably going to be the toughest of those to get because you're going to have like the Sixers and the Heat and just a bunch of other teams a bunch of contending teams trying to lock Kyle Lowry in to kind of try and get that Chris Paul veteran type of player onto a championship team. So I think Kyle Lowry, like I said, he's going to be the toughest to get. He's 36 years old next March, so he's on the end of his NBA career, so I don't think he really should be our top priority anyways. Now, Dinwiddie actually had a brief stint with the team in 5 preseason games in 2016, moved him to the Windy City Bulls where he averaged 19, 8, and 3. For some reason, he was no longer a Chicago Bull pretty soon after. Dennis Schroeder and Lonzo Ball, they're both free agents, but I would say Schroeder isn't really my guy. He's coming off a season averaging 15 and 5. However, his price tag seems to be $100 million to $120 million. And I think I speak for everybody. Why and how? Like what? Ball is way more likely, and I swear, ever since Lonzo Ball has come to the league, the Chicago Bulls have wanted. I have wanted Lonzo since he came to the league. No matter what team you're a part of, I think a lot of guys would love to have Lonzo on their team just to give it a try. And so he's coming off a career high 14.6 points per game, 4.8 rebounds per game, and 5.7 assists. So he's probably going to cost about $100 million as well. But Lonzo Ball being the age he is and the up and up, he does a little bit of everything. He is a great defender. He's a great three-point shooter or an improving three-point shooter. And he can make. The thing I like about Lonzo Ball, like Schroeder seemed like the Lakers seemed like they needed Schroeder a little bit too much, right? And to make that make a little bit more sense, it's like if LeBron and AD are either off the court or struggling because they're getting doubled every time, you need a guy to come in and make shots. That's what the Lakers needed because they had 2 stars who offensively are elite firepowers. and they didn't have too much surrounding help. And Dennis Schroeder, I mean, he had 0 points in a playoff game. He tried to help them in the playoffs, but he just ultimately wasn't able to. And so with Lonzo Ball, the Bulls don't need Lonzo to score. That's what I like about this so much, is that we already have a Zach LaVine. We already have a Nikola Vucevic. We already have a, hopefully, whoever's our 4 is a scorer as well, or even if it's Thaddeus Young, we have that Thaddeus Young. We've got Patrick Williams. We've got pieces around our roster where, like, our point guard just doesn't need to drop 20 a game. If our point guard dropped 20 a game, that would be awesome. But, like, 14.6 points per game basically averages that up to 15, and that's what you're getting with Dennis Schroeder. So, to me, Lonzo Ball is like my clear-cut number 1 choice because he also helps us out in the future. And I think he's going to be a superstar out of like Dinwiddie and Schroeder. I think Lonzo Ball might actually be a superstar or at least a several-time All-Star. So, worst-case scenario, they get Lonzo Ball and it still doesn't work. Well, Lonzo Ball now is a superstar and you can either build around Lonzo, trade him, and build up that way. I think Lonzo just gives the Bulls a lot more options, and that's what you want in every aspect of life, is just more options. So you have Lonzo Ball come onto the team. He doesn't even need to average 14.6 points per game, man. That's the best part, is you've got Zach LaVine there. But say the starters aren't doing too great, right? Say there's a game where, you know, we're either missing LaVine and Vucevic, or one of them's hurt, or they're both hurt, or whatever it is, back-to-back, long night, who knows? That's what Kobe White's for. You throw Kobe White in there as our 6th man. Kobe White does a great thing. He's a great catch and shooter. He's a great scorer. Kobe White can come on from a bench and drop 15 a game. So it's just, to me, getting Lonzo Ball is like, it solves it all. It solves it all, and it also gives you a little bit more room. Like, so hopefully Tomas Satoransky, if they get Lonzo Ball, hopefully Satoransky's gone, right? Hopefully they can sign and trade Lauri Markkanen and get somebody back from them. So it's like the Bulls just have so many pieces, like Troy Brown Jr. on the bench, man. Like they have, and like I said, a ton of restricted free agents. So it's, the Bulls are in a position right now where AK can really build this team up to a championship core, and he knows it. They know this, and that's what they're going to do. And that's why I'm just so excited for this offseason to start, because it's going to be awesome, Bulls fans. It's going to be awesome. I don't think that they're going to trade into the first round. I might make a video on that because I've been getting some questions about it. I don't think they'll trade into the first round, but who knows? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit that sub button, man. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you later.